Okay. Well, we're excited about today. I feel like we've added a lot of outstanding pieces to the puzzle. Some guys that we've recruited all year long. A lot of them been committed for a long time, and added a few others towards the end there to help with the recruiting class. But feel like we addressed a lot of needs. Our coaches worked extremely hard to maintain the commitments we had throughout the year, because that's always hard, and also try to gain a few at the end to improve the team. But a lot of hard work went in. I thought our assistants stayed in contact, built good relationships. They understand the importance of getting good players. I feel like we've got guys that fit what we do. They're very good people of high character, good students as well, and I think they all want to be here, which is very important. I think they're all hungry. It's important to have guys that you recruit that you feel like do have a chip on their shoulder, do feel like they're out to prove people how good they are and how good they can be. And it's always good when you can get guys like that that do have that hunger and that passion to play the game. But feel good about today. It's gone well. It's an exciting day. We're looking forward to getting with these guys when they get here in the summer. And luckily for us, about 6 or 7 of them are already here as mid-year enrollees, and they're going to help us immediately and add to the mix and be here all spring practice, which will be very valuable in itself. Questions?
Please raise your hand for Lance. Coach, I guess what were the needs, I guess, you identified the most in this class, hopes that really need to be built?
Well, I think we tried to target guys we needed at each position, and I feel like we hit all the targets that we needed. It's always important to get defensive linemen. I think that we added 2 defensive tackles, high school defensive tackles, in Jeremy Darvin and Jalen Madden, that give us size, give us some strength, some girth up front, which is hard to get. We've got a junior college transfer in Kris Johnson that we like a lot. He's here already working out. He's got some size and some strength and some mass and some athleticism. So those are 3 important pieces to the puzzle. Offensive line, I feel like we got a tackle that we can develop into a very good player. He's got a good work ethic, and I think wants to be a good player. And 2 interior guys that play hard, are pretty fairly physically developed at this point, and I think they'll be contributors as well. And then, I think if you look at the early enrollees, without question, the 2 additions, the graduate transfers from Louisville, are huge in my opinion. Those are 2 guys that when they walk in the room, they're going to stand out. And Keith Brown and Nick Dawson, guys that want to come somewhere and finish their career and get a lot of playing time and try to win championships as well. But those are 2 guys we feel great about that hopefully can help us immediately. They'll be here 1 year, but we're excited to have them.
How were you able to keep this class together despite some of the coaches that decided to go elsewhere?
Well, you know what? I don't think we had a huge problem with that. I think all of our guys were committed for the right reasons. Yes, we did have some coaches leave, but I think the whole offensive structure, the defensive structure, they understand it's going to be the same. The head coach is going to be the same, which is important as well. We have some good additions to the staff and some more coming on the way that I feel very good about. But I think they love the school, they love the facilities, they love the fellow commitments they've been able to keep in contact with. They understand the product on the field that we've been able to produce the last 2 years, and they want to be a part of that. And really our players and our administration and everyone that is involved in the recruiting weekends have as big a part of to play in that as anyone. So really I think it's about the people that are here, the relationships they built, and I felt we were very strong in that aspect.
Along that same theme, you just talk about the work done by the remaining coaches and also some of the quality control guys, the media guys that you pick up some of the slack.
Well, I think our coach has done a great job, and when you have graduate assistants, quality control coaches, they're all wanting to eventually be in a full-time role, and we got a chance to get those guys on the road, experience recruiting, build relationships, and they did an outstanding job. So when you look at guys like on defense, Dan Rowe and Chris Springer, our graduate assistants, they did a great job. Zach Langfield's our offensive quality control. He did a great job. He has a great deal of knowledge about our offensive line. He did a great job with our offensive linemen. And then Dittlinger did a very good job as well, just keeping things in order and staying on top of things. And, I think that the coaches we had on the staff that have stayed really want to be here. They had relationships. And like I said, I think the fact that, our offensive structure, our defensive structure was going to be consistent, that's very important as well. And I think players all want to come in and play and want to understand what they're going to be doing and how they're doing it. And when you have the same system coming back on both sides of the ball, that's a huge plus.
Back to the Louisville guys, when there's opportunities like that, guys, whether it's in the state or elsewhere, how important is that for this program just to be a viable option for those kind of guys looking for a new start?
Well, I think it's huge, two huge gets for us. Both of those guys are former four-star recruits, so to speak. They played in the All-American Army game and announced on TV and did all that stuff that really gets a lot of hype and hoopla. But, I'm sure maybe they didn't quite get the playing time they wanted towards the end, and they wanted to go somewhere where they could play and get good film and also be a part of a winning team. And I think when they came here, they were extremely comfortable. Obviously, between myself and a lot of the assistants, we know a lot of people on the staff at Louisville, and a lot of those coaches as well. And so I think when they got here, they were pleasantly surprised with the facilities. They looked at our video of our games and liked what they saw. They got to meet the people on campus and around the university and got to see the support that we have and felt like this was a good home. And I think both of them have good attitudes. They've got a good work ethic, and I think they understand this is their last go-around, and they're going to give it everything they have and do a great job for us.
Well, how about Xavier Lane, the one that came right down to the wire?
Well, I feel good about Xavier. He's he gives us that big receiver on the outside that you always want at least a couple of. And, he's 6'3 plus, 195 pounds. He's athletic. He's on the basketball team. He's got some swagger to him. He had some options, some very good options. And when he came on his trip, I thought we did a good job of selling what we do on offense and how we can utilize him. But I think, once again, our players did a great job of recruiting him. And basically, Taywan Taylor was the guy in charge of that. He really hit it off with him, felt good around our guys, and felt like this is a place that he could achieve all his goals.
You said Stephen Duncan was the best quarterback you saw all summer. What stands out about him to make him successful?
Well, we really like Stephen Duncan. He's a guy that came to our camp twice, and we've had great turnout at our camps. We travel across the state into Tennessee, normally have 300 to 400 at each camp. Then we got our camps on campus as well. So we've had a lot of guys at camp, and he was the best pure passer, really by far, of any of the guys we had. And he can throw the football. He's got great height. He looks like an NFL quarterback when you look at his body type. He has the tools that you're looking for. And I think the fact that he wanted to come play in a passing offense with all the zone read stuff and quarterback option and quarterback run stuff that's going on in college football, which is all good stuff, that's not him. He's more of a passer. So I think he saw what we did with Brandon Dowdy. He understands most of the quarterbacks we have on our roster are like that. So we're going to build the system around him. But I think he was starting to pick up some recruitment at the end. Schools were coming in on him, some very good ones. And the fact that he stood with us throughout it all is a testament to the word he gave us way back in the summer when he committed, and we appreciate and respect that, and I think he'll be a great fit for us.
Quentin Baker, a big name at the running back position, a player that flipped from Marshall as well. A lot of talented running backs that come through Western Kentucky over the last few years. What makes him the next one so successful?
Well, we really like Quentin Baker, and we had to work hard to get him, and we had to stay on him. He lives right down the street from one of our rivals, so it was easy for him to commit there, but it was very difficult to get him to come back and get on board with us. But once we did, it was huge. He's a guy that, in my opinion, has some ability that you don't see much. He came to our camp as well, and to be honest with you, he ran some times that we've never timed before. And we had him run 3 or 4 times because we didn't believe what we saw, but he is extremely fast. If I have to go back, I believe he ran under a 4.3 multiple times in the 40. His shuttle run was off the charts, and that's something that's hard to teach. And, he's a kid that has a lot of confidence as well. He's talented. I think he saw what we could do with him in our offense, and he felt good around our coaches and players. And it was great to get him to turn and come our way. And I think, since he's been here, he's fit in extremely well. But he's a guy that has a lot of raw ability, and we're looking forward to getting him out there this spring. But we're happy he's here.
Are there any new incoming freshmen that are coming in that you look at that could have a chance to play from day one, or is it one of those things everyone will be able to compete and have a chance, or something maybe they need to learn for a couple of years to go into it?
Well, I think when you talk about incoming freshmen, we all want them to plan to come in and play. We were fortunate last year. We redshirted every single one except for one, and even with him, didn't play a whole lot, but he is very talented. So we were very fortunate in that aspect because we had some upperclassmen that did a very good job, and we had some depth. And I think that over the last 2 years, we've built depth at a lot of positions. So I don't know if we're going to have to do anything, but I do like the talent level. I do like their playmaking ability. We want all of them to get ready to go. There's probably a few that are definitely going to have a good chance to get in there and contribute right off the bat. And the thing we tell them, and we're 100% true when we say it, when they get here in the summer, they're going to get as many reps, if not more, than everyone else. And we're going to make sure of that. And, we don't believe in sitting back and learning by watching. They're going to be out there on the field getting reps. So we talk to them, and really from now until June when we get there, we're constantly in communication about staying in shape, being in great condition, looking at the playbook, understanding what we're doing. And the conditioning part is number one, because a lot of times, a lot of these guys can come in and play, but they don't quite understand the conditioning that is needed in order to do it, and they're going to pull a hamstring, pull a quad, a groin, and it sets them back, and that's when it's hard for them to get in there. So we really stress hard the conditioning aspect, and that's at every position, even the guys that are receivers and DBs. They've got to condition between now and June, because when we get here in June, it's full speed ahead, and like I said, they're going to be thrown in the mix, and if they can keep up mentally, without question, they'll have a chance to contribute.
Wanted to ask you about your new assistants, Coach Barclay and Coach Johnson, and also what you feel Coach Ellis can do with receivers.
Well, I'm excited about it. I think they're huge additions to our staff. When you think of Kris Barclay first, he's a guy that's been coaching. He coached down the street at our rival. He has a lot of ties in the city of Louisville, playing at Louisville Male. He did a tremendous job in college at the running back position at Wake Forest and set numerous records there, and then went on and played for about 3 or 4 years in the league as well. So he's a guy that knows how to play the position. He's done it at the highest level. I think when you get to know him, he's a great person. He relates well with the players. He really wants to be here. He's wanted to be here for the last couple of years, to be honest with you, and we found a way to get it done this year. So I'm excited to get him here. So far, I've really liked what I've seen, and I think he'll do a great job with the running backs. When you talk of Coach Reggie Johnson, I was fired up to get him. When I first got the job, I was very close to hiring him, and we went a different direction. But now that I get a chance to get him back on, I think he's going to be a huge addition. He gives us, in my opinion, what we need on the defensive side of the ball. He's got a presence to him. He's got energy. He can bring the juice when we need it. He's a guy that has played the linebacker position at a high level in college and won bowl games, and I was a little bit younger than him as a player on the same team, but he was an outstanding player, a great worker, and since he's been involved in coaching at all different levels, and I've had a chance to coach with him in a couple of different spots. He's a hard worker. He's been a defensive coordinator. He's a great family man. I think he will do a great job of building a relationship with our guys and recruits as well. But I'm excited about him, and I think he is a great addition to our defensive side of the ball, and I'm really fired up to have him here. And then when I talk about Coach Ellis, I think Coach Ellis is a guy that can do a lot of things. And, I had the chance to have him as my graduate assistant at UAB. I brought him here as our quality control at Western the first year. He understands what I like, he understands what I want, and he's a worker, and he's going to do whatever you ask, and he's going to give you 100% in everything he does. He does a great job as well as relating to the players, building relationships with them. He recruits extremely hard. He puts in a lot of effort and time. He's a young guy that wants to be a great coach, and he will. So we're excited to get him with the receivers. You know, when he was in a quality control position, he basically was around that position a lot, and last year he coached the running backs and did an excellent job. He really does have a good feel of our passing game and what we want to do, so I think he'll be a great receiver coach and down the line an outstanding football coach.
As far as any open spots, still the same philosophy of taking your time?
Well, I think I know which direction I'm going. It's a matter of getting him here and doing the necessary things to get him here as far as background check and that. But I feel good of what we're going to add to the mix, and I think that'll happen soon. And I think they're quality coaches as well. And, you know, I like to make sure I make the right decision. I want to take my time, and really it's like recruiting as well. You know, you've got to be very strategic in how you do things also. And just like recruiting players, there's sometimes you can bring in guys right away, and for a lot of reasons, in another week they can be gone, whether there's a bigger job that they want to go to. You know, numerous things can come up throughout that recruiting cycle. The January period is very fluid, and I think you don't want to move too soon. You don't want to show your hand. I think people watch what we do a lot in the recruiting world, and probably when it comes to coaches, by a testament of, you know, a lot of our coaches moving on to some places that you know, they're at now, which, you know, my hat's off to them, and I'm proud of the work they did here. But, you know, I think you have to be very careful of what you do, be very selective, very strategic, and I'm very aware of that, and maybe a little paranoid with it, but I want to err on that side as rather to the other side.
With the amount of momentum that you guys have built over the last couple of years, did you notice a lot of interest from coaches when they saw these openings available? Did you have a lot of people that were interested in trying to take these jobs?
A whole lot, yes, we did, and even to this point, no, without question. I think the fact that our success on the football field, our the achievements that our players and coaches helped us get these past 2 years, being on TV a lot, seeing the brand and style of football we play, the phone's been ringing off the hook, and I'm very appreciative of all the interest that we've had. I try to get back as much as I can to all of them and give them some type of order of what we're thinking and how we're going to go about it, but it's very tedious because there is a lot of interest, and everybody loves the game of football, loves being in coaching, and it's something that people are wanting to be a part of, and tremendous candidates all across the board. But you have to make sure that they all fit, they all really want to be here. The timing's important. You want to structure the staff where you have a good mix of quality coaches of different ages, from different backgrounds, from different states. They can give you different pluses, not only on the football field, but also in recruiting. So all those things you factor in. But yes, it's been a very hectic month, and I'm very appreciative of all the interest that we've had.
Anything else? All right, good, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.